everybody, and welcome back to the Love Your Bod Pod. I'm your host, Cara Cifelli. I'm Cara's Kitchen on Instagram. That is also my website name, caraskitchen.net. I am a holistic health coach, published author, and online course creator. And today I want to talk to you guys about what I call body wisdom, or what I refer to as body wisdom. And this is the title of my book, which you can find on Amazon if you're curious or interested. But I thought it would be fun to talk about this concept, which has really created the foundation for how I live my life, what my business is built upon, and what I teach my clients in my one-on-one and group coaching programs. To give you a brief little synopsis, body wisdom is a deep connection and understanding of the signals and cues your body sends you. It's having an awareness around how best to take care of it, take care of yourself, your body, through food, movement, and the mind-body connection. It does involve our mental and emotional and spiritual well-being as well. It is not simply limited to our physical body. Rather, the first way to develop body wisdom is by understanding that you are a complete system, that everything within you is deeply connected. It's very intricate and very intimate. And so looking at yourself as a whole person, as opposed to a bunch of different parts, is truly foundational in connecting to and developing your body wisdom. Now, body wisdom is not possible if you are following a prescribed way of eating from the outside world. So true body wisdom can only come from within you, as it is based on your own unique bio-individuality. And if you're not sure what bio-individuality means, it is a concept I believe was originally coined by the Institute for Integrative Nutrition. And it's the idea that we all have different unique needs for food and lifestyle, and there's no one food philosophy or diet or way of eating that can be ideal for everyone. Rather, the best way to truly optimize your health is unique to you. You have your own bio-individuality. It's bio-individual. Now, in order for you to discover that, you have to start to listen to your body. But this is really challenging to do when we are growing up in the modern world, when we are swimming in diet culture, and with the current state of healthism and nutritionalism. So today I want to briefly go over a little bit more in depth what body wisdom is and kind of how we get stuck and what keeps us from developing and connecting to the woven in wisdom that's already within you. Now, briefly, to illustrate what body wisdom is, I want to talk about what Dr. Anita Johnson explains in her book, Eating in the Light of the Moon. She explains that we have abandoned our feminine energy, which is rooted in our intuition and our emotions. So instead, we have transitioned into a more masculine energy, which utilizes a logical and rational approach to eating. Now, if you think about this for a minute, basically what she's saying is that we rely on elaborate diet plans and prescribed way of eating, and we follow all of these eat this, not eat that rules, or we almost overmanage our food intake. And that is a very masculine approach when you think about what masculine energy is. And I don't mean men. When I say masculine energy, I don't mean men specifically. Rather, all human beings embody both masculine and feminine energies, but the masculine energies within us is much more rational. It's much more constructed. You can think of it like checklists and practicality. And then feminine energy is much more rooted in intuition, feeling, sensing. So instead of trusting our body's ability to guide us to foods that are in line with our unique selves, we rely on elaborate diet plans that tell us when, what, and how much to eat. Instead of paying attention to when our body craves physical movement, we rely on intense exercise regimes that have been created by the fitness industry to give you the perfect body. So as opposed to tuning into your body and using the information and signals it sends you to guide your movement, to guide your eating, to guide your exercise, essentially using the information your body sends you to create a sustainable, nourishing, healthy lifestyle, we turn to things outside of ourselves. Now, these recommendations from the outside world trap us in a cycle where we calorie restrict, we track points, we count macros, we over or under eat, and we ignore the signs from our physical body. What happens is we attempt to control and manipulate our bodies with our mind, when we should be tapping into our intuition that is grounded in individuality and our feminine energy. So every time we eat, we experience a variety of sensations, emotions, and feedback that are meant to help us observe how different foods make us feel. If we learn to trust our bodies and fill up our plates with foods that make us feel vibrant and nourished, both physically and emotionally, the act of intuitive eating becomes incredibly simple. So what I want you to take away from this is that health and wellness is already programmed into your body. And it is our job to tap into this programming by listening to the internal signals and cues that they send us. This is body wisdom. Essentially, it's having a deep, intimate connection with your body and what works for it. And I don't just mean physically, but like mentally and emotionally. There is a very real mind-body connection at play that is a part of body wisdom. And to help you learn more about how to connect to your body wisdom, I want to share with you the main blocks that I have observed, not only in my own life, but with my clients. And once you understand like what's stopping you or what's blocking you, you can work on creating more space in your own life so that you can move these blocks out of the way and you can start to trust yourself and tune more into your body. So the first block is confusing science. And this ties into what I had mentioned earlier about the current state of healthism and nutritionalism. So let me tell you a little bit about what I mean. Now, typically, abiding by scientific research regarding what is best for our body often seems like a foolproof way to eat and live. We can try to apply what cutting edge scientific research tells us, but literally every food related health claim can be debated by a quick Google search. So one study may show that soy causes breast cancer, while another may prove that it's a healthy protein choice. So basically, when everybody is tofu fighting, it is kind of hard to enjoy miso soup in peace. Now, with the barrage of conflicting scientific data and varying opinions from health experts like doctors coming at us each day regarding how, when, and what to eat, we are left second guessing our own innate ability to choose the foods best for our bodies. The reality is that we are all so individually unique that blanket statements, even when they are proven valid by scientific research, can be more confusing than they are valuable. Simply put, you might be very different than the average person in any given study used to make various health claims. One of the things that illustrates this really well was the most recent documentary on Netflix called What the Health. It's by the guys that did the documentary Cowspiracy. And while I do think that there was great information in What the Health, and I thought that there was really valuable perspectives, and they shed a lot of light on some of the unethical behavior or convolution or intentional confusion thrown at us by these large organizations that we're told are operating in our best interest, but often that's not always the case. Sadly, that's just kind of a reality of corporate America and large consumerism and capitalism in the United States. But you had doctors in there who were very, very one-sided in their opinion on plant-based diets. And following that documentary, there were all of these doctors interviewed on various talk shows. And so they would have like a plant-based doctor, and then they'd have a doctor who was more, in alignment with like paleo, or really believed in the benefits of eating meat or having a carnivorous diet or an omnivore diet where you kind of eat everything. And these doctors would literally fight it out with one another. And they both would have a ton of scientific evidence to back up their different points of views. And so this is what I mean by nutritionalism and healthism and confusing science. Literally every food-related claim can be debated. And so it's really hard to know who to trust. And so we're just confused as shit about what the heck to eat. So this is why tuning into your own unique bioindividuality is really the best source, because your body is never wrong. Your body only has your best interest in mind. It doesn't have board members to report to. It doesn't have a bottom line that it's considering. It only has your back. And so if you're trying to discover what foods work best for you, the best place to look for that answer is within your body. It's by tuning into what happens when you eat certain things. Like, what are the signals and sensations that occur when you consume different types of foods? And this has been really true for my own life. I was an omnivore for a really long time. I spent 7 years as a vegan and a non-dairy vegetarian. I'm very lactose intolerant. And then eventually where I am now is I just don't do labels, number one. I don't prescribe to a certain type of eating. And I just eat in the way that feels best for my body. And that changes from day to day. Some days I have cravings for different types of foods, and I just honor that, as opposed to being like, well, nope, I'm vegan, so I can't honor my craving. Or like, nope, I'm paleo, so I can't honor my cravings. I just listen and trust my body to guide my eating habits. And it has truly transformed my relationship with food and health and my lifestyle. And it's what I teach my clients. And I'm inviting you to embrace your healthy lifestyle from that perspective of trusting your body more than we trust outside sources. Now let's talk about number 2. So number 1 was confusing science, and number 2 is marketing tactics. So what I mean by marketing tactics is that when we enter into the chaotic and often misleading environment of the grocery store, our ability to apply what we believe to be true regarding nutrition and well-being becomes nearly impossible when we are pushed to purchase products that appear to be healthy. Keyword there, appear. So at the end of the day, grocery stores and large food companies take advantage of this profitable opportunity by adding confusing and often misleading health claims, and sometimes even using shame-based language on labels to increase their sales. Food packaging can say things like gluten-free or guilt-free in an effort to appear like a superior option without making you question the nutritional information on the back. The number of unrecognizable ingredients in packaged and processed food is greater than most people's Instagram followings, which makes the ability of understanding what you're actually eating similar to kind of reading an entirely different language, right? Like, have you guys flipped over the box of some packaged foods? Like, half the time, I literally have no idea what's in them. So with all of this confusion, it's no wonder that we tend to brush right past the nutritional label and take what the front of the box says at face value. But eating well can be made simple. While there are so many layers of unnecessary complexity to nourishing your body, I do want to help you become fully armed to decipher what is actually healthy for you, versus what is just good marketing. And as you tune more into your body, you will be able to figure that out for yourself. Like, is this actually a nourishing choice, or is this just really good marketing? Barrier number 3. Sensationalized diets. Not only can it be a real struggle to know what to eat, it's also difficult to enjoy what you eat when you are being constantly bombarded by confusing inconsistencies about what is healthy. So every week there seems to be a new fad diet that promises to be the key to food freedom and body liberation. Currently, right now, keto is all of the rage. And while I do believe that there is a nutritional middle ground with these different types of diets, I do understand that often these sensationalized diets can be applied in a therapeutic way and that they can help people with certain health conditions. I genuinely think that the average American doesn't need to be following specific sensationalized diets. So for example, is paleo the answer, or is it vegan? Is it the newly coined pegan from Mark Hyman, which I do love Mark Hyman, he's a phenomenal doctor. Or is it bulletproof or whole foods plant-based? Is it ketogenic or low fat or high carb or slow carb or low carb? Is it fruitarian, vegetarian, raw food vegan, clean eating, or is it Ayurvedic? What's funny to me is that while none of these ways of eating are wrong, none of them are necessarily right either. It's truly individual. So I want to help you basically see through the veil of information of sensationalized fad diets that keep you latched on and investing in their credo, and help you develop the tools necessary to figure out what way of eating is right for you, right? I want you to develop your own body wisdom. And don't get me wrong, nutritional information, trying different ways of eating, reading research, all of that is helpful, right? Like, I do not want to make it sound like I don't value science, that I don't value other doctors and their research and what they've observed in clinics. I truly believe that food is very powerful and can be used as medicine. And everything that I've learned about healthy nutrition up to this point has been very helpful. And I also think that there is such a thing as too much, to where you are wildly confused, you have no idea what to eat anymore. And we have a new classification of eating disorder called orthorexia, where we're so obsessed with the purity and cleanliness of our food that literally the conflicting opinions from health professionals has made us afraid to eat things. And we get to the point where we're like, we don't have enough food options to feed ourselves. And so we're orthorexic. Like, we don't have enough to eat. We don't have enough to feed ourselves. We're too afraid that what we're going to eat is going to cause us harm. And so we don't have enough food options to truly nourish our body. And this new classification of eating disorder, I truly believe, is the result of these barriers that I'm talking about with you, the confusing science, the marketing tactics, and the sensationalized fad diets. Okay, let's move on to number 4, and that is the societal pressures that we all face. So oftentimes our food choices are dictated by external influences, such as fear from judgment or others, or the societal pressures to look a certain way. Now, oftentimes these impossible standards, or like people judging what's on our plate, will create excess stress. And then in the process, we lose the connection between what we eat and how we feel. So we can get so wrapped up in the nutrition recommendations from the external world that we have no capacity to hear the information being sent to us from our body's intuition. And this makes living a healthy lifestyle a chore for so many of us because we are so damn confused about how to nourish our bodies. And then far too often, we are even made to feel insecure or bad about our food choices. So like maybe you've gotten like vegan hate from a vegan, and they will like shame you for eating meat. This is the type of societal pressure I'm talking about. I truly think that when we judge other people's food choices, we're not doing anything helpful. We're creating more stress, more shame, more fear. And so these are the types of societal pressures that I'm talking about. Like when I transitioned away from a vegan diet and I started being outspoken about the fact that I had added eggs back into my diet, I got a lot of hate on Instagram. Like the vegan community, nothing bad against them, but in general, I got a lot of backlash and it was hurtful, and it really doesn't help anyone in the long run to shame them for what they're choosing to eat. Okay, so let's move on to barrier number 5, and that is the thin ideal and the beauty ideal from our culture and the media. So our obsession in America, and pretty much the entire world, or the Western world at this point, with having the perfect body and losing weight, has misdirected the focus from how to live a healthy lifestyle to how to lose weight. All of the fat phobia and body shaming happening in our society has resulted in us constantly pursuing weight loss in the name of health. But major kicker here, our weight is not really the best indicator of health despite what we are taught. Consequently, we care less about how we feel in our bodies and care more about what our body looks like. Now, we will talk a lot about this on the podcast. We're going to talk about health at every size. We're going to talk about the lies that we have been told are fundamental truths as they relate to our body size and our weight, so that you can really understand that it doesn't necessarily matter how much you weigh or the size of your body. You have the capacity to be truly healthy, metabolically, cardiovascularly, and to live a really awesome, fully self-expressed life that you love, that doesn't have to be filled with drama and confusion around health and nutrition and what to eat or how to move your body. Sadly, though, this insecurity with our appearance can have us fall victim to fad diets and get thin quick schemes, ultimately zapping the joy right out of life. And sometimes we'll resort to extreme measures and take advice that could end up hurting our health and longevity in the long run. Now, sadly, we will engage in very unhealthy behaviors to pursue weight loss in the name of health, but are actually in opposition to true health and vibrancy. And that is because we have confused the pursuit of weight loss with the pursuit of health. But pursuing health is not the same pursuit as weight loss. They are two entirely different pursuits. And I will have a podcast all about that later on, but I just wanted to plant that seed right now. Now, there are varying opinions from bloggers, doctors, authors, family members, and celebrities. So it's really hard to know who is actually right about what the heck we all should be eating. And on top of that, there is no one right way to eat forever. Especially as women, we go through serious hormonal changes throughout our life, which makes our cravings for certain foods shift and our need for various nutrients fluctuate. Every day, our hunger levels can change. So saying that there is a right amount to eat, for example, 2,000 calories, or 3 meals, or 6 small meals, or within a 12-hour window, if you're doing intermittent fasting, is basically bullshit and only takes us further away from listening to our body. Now, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with 3 meals a day or 6 meals a day or 2,000 calories or intermittent fasting. I think that there is an argument to be made for all of those, but saying that one of those is truly most right is not accurate. Ultimately, the way that's most right for you is unique to you. Essentially, I disagree with people that preach that there is only one right way to eat and live. Again, the right way to eat is the way that makes you feel good in your body, and that's it. And that is really what I want to help teach you with this idea of body wisdom. Eating and nourishing our bodies, something that in my opinion should be intrinsically simple, is so damn complicated now because of those 5 things that I had just explained to you. It used to be really complicated for me, but a huge turning point was deciding that I was going to work on cultivating trust, respect, acceptance, and appreciation for my body and all that it does for me. And if you want to adopt a healthy lifestyle that is sustainable and actually enjoyable to live, that doesn't have any guilt and stress involved, then it's likely that it's going to also be 100% unique to you. Now, obviously, getting the help of a professional is super valuable. They can help you cut through the nutritional noise of the world and connect more deeply to your body. They can help you discover the tools of intuitive eating and how to apply those practices and principles into your life. But ultimately, your body already has the perfect plan for health inside of it. But by ignoring our body wisdom, we put more faith in commercialized health than the intuitive ability that is already built in. Essentially, you have got to do you. And I want to encourage you to trust yourself. You can trust yourself. But we are continually told not to trust our bodies from the outside world. We are told not to trust our hunger and fullness cues. We are taught to underfeed ourselves. We are then taught not to trust our cravings. We are taught that we should be able to control and manipulate our body and weight instead of working with it and honoring its ever-changing nature. So my hope is that you start to tune in more for answers. And of course, if you need help doing that, shoot me a DM, an email, come say hi to me on Instagram. Of course, you can find Body Wisdom on Amazon. It's a book, but it's also a workbook. After every chapter, there are action items and journal prompts to help you in the process of developing and connecting to your body wisdom. You already have woven in wisdom, I promise you. We just have to start to listen to it. We've just been so tuned out of our body for so long, listening to everything outside of ourselves. And so I want to encourage you to tune in more. Okay, so that is all for today. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you are inspired and excited about this concept of body wisdom and that it is truly available to you. Just a quick reminder, you still have a chance to win one of 2 giveaway prizes. So if you liked what you heard today, please go leave a ratings and review on iTunes. I will be picking a winner at the end of October. The prizes are either a one-on-one coaching session with me or access to my online course, Break Free from Binge Eating. So I would be so grateful if you would go and leave a ratings and review. It helps this podcast get out to the people that need to hear it. So thank you so much. I love you. Your body loves you. Be sure to love it back. Okay, bye for now, guys. See you.